Jay here for Stretford Paddock. This is Off the Bar, brought to you by Green King Sport. A little bit more on that later. Joining me are two absolute titans of the Manchester United fan base. I've got Mr. Stephen Howson. How are we doing?
Yeah, sound.
Yeah. Honest.
Strap yourself in, folks.
And also, from the Sloppy Joes podcast, it's Mr. Joe McGrath.
Yes, how are we?
Yeah.
Are you in the Christmas mood yet?
Fuck off, Joe.
Look at this tinsel here. Doesn't this get you right up there? Red tinsel.
See, I knew you'd do that. I knew you'd say it, and I knew he'd do that.
Excuse me.
All right, I'll say
hours
the
to do
tinsel
this.
for the town, for the team even. There you go. How are you? Anyway, you seem like you're in the festive spirit.
He's always in the festive spirit. He brings Christmas to fucking October.
He does.
I love it.
I bet you do.
I think, you know what I mean? You know, Santa's there. He's working now. He's working his arse off for Christmas
Joe,
Eve.
it's one day. Don't kick the arse out of it for an entire month.
But what about the
Keep
turkeys?
it to the one day.
The pigs in blankets.
Keep it to the one day. Yeah, it's great. It's it's one day and it's one dinner.
When do your decorations go up?
I don't fuck with that shit.
I don't expect.
I bet they're up now. I bet your decorations.
You probably put fewer up than I have. But when do they go up in your house?
My mum started a tradition with doing it the day before I was born, because I was born on the 5th, so they've gone up on the 4th.
Okay.
I don't think Janine managed them this year. She was slacking, so I think they went up the day after.
Well, I've seen the way you
I had a
decorate.
strong word with her about ruining the family tradition.
Your office is decorated wonderful. You bet your Christmas trees.
Janine's visual merchandiser, isn't it?
Yeah,
So that's her bag. That's literally what she does.
Ridiculously good at it.
It is. It is.
Yeah, I leave all that to the. We got the tree together.
Just about. Is it fake or real?
Not only do I not want to be involved, I don't think she would let me be involved if I asked.
No,
I think that's her shit.
Yeah.
And she's very good at it, and I'll give her it. It looks the bollocks.
Do you have your own baubles?
Mate, ours go in a fucking... Everyone goes in its own little box and that afterwards, mate. She's not fucked about.
Really?
She spent a fortune on that tree.
There's
like keys on it and all sorts.
Oh, yeah, I love that. Are your decorations in the loft?
Well, no, they're on the tree at the moment.
No, but before they were on the tree, have you got decorations in the loft? Do you have to go up in the loft for Christmas?
Sort of. I have an office in the loft, don't I? So they're in a cupboard that's inside them.
Right, so you're all right, because I'm up that loft every November.
I'm down it. Oh, we got a little cellar.
Oh, are you down in the bottom? Big question, though. You haven't got kids, have you?
No.
Do you do elves on the shelf?
I think Janine fucked with it last year.
Yeah. And you've not done it this year?
I bet you're
so lucky.
is...
It's such a headache. Honestly.
I bet it is.
Like,
you got to just come up with something mental for the elf to do every day.
Every night, like, and then you panic when you haven't done it.
What did they do today?
My missus did a thing where they were watching YouTube, but it was like a toilet roll tube, and she'd wrote a note. It made sense. Nice. You have to see it. It's not as bad as I've just sold it. It was quite good. I made it sound rubbish, but it was actually pretty funny. And the kids loved it, which is what it's all about. Anyway, enough of this nonsense. Let's talk about the Super League.
No, let's go back on this.
Yeah, let's talk about Christmas. Right, just to give you an update, European Courts of Justice have said, you know what, if you want to start Super League, do what you want. UEFA can't tell you what to do. You can do anything you like. So, by rights, the Super League could come up again. United have said in a statement, well, we're not getting involved. Bayern Munich have said in a statement, we're not getting involved in the Super League. We've learned our lesson. Whether that remains the case, we'll have to wait and see. Steve, the whole Super League thing, we covered this obviously when it all popped off last year. Was it last year or the year before? I can't remember.
It's 2021, I think.
2021.
Sure, was it?
A couple of years back now, yeah.
Christ. We did that Monster Live on it when it all fell apart, and then Woodward ended up losing his job, and all the other teams pulled out of it.
Every clown.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. That was like a big party. Do you see this happening again? Like a similar thing to the Super League where, you know, you get a load of teams come together and say, we're going to do our own thing?
Not only do I think it'll happen again, I think it's happening again. I think Super League basically told you.
Yeah.
When it all got shut down, they went, all right, cool, see you soon. Didn't they?
Yeah, Florentino Perez was like, okay, yeah, we're still going to do it.
Pretty much, like the defiance in some, like, United shit it, good thing. There was a couple of clubs shit it, bottled it, a little bit of PR and try and smoothed it over. And, it forced the Glazers into actually communicating with us for the first time ever.
Yeah.
And they promised to do X, Y, and Z. Now, they haven't fulfilled that shit.
No.
But I wondered, is one of the reasons that they've hung around like a bad fart because they knew that this was always on the cards. And it doesn't matter. They've put a statement out, United, haven't they? Saying, obviously, we're committed to whatever. Actions, not words.
Yeah, that's the statement also as well. Like, you can put that statement out, you can say, we are committed. It's like what you said, we are committed. But then when
someone puts the golden ticket in front of you, I should go around Willy Wonka's factory. Before you know it, you're drinking the gravy, mate.
Exactly. What do you reckon? Because me and you did a little bit of a video on it. Do you think that United are out of it? Do you think it's going to happen again? Do you see that this could all be?
It's one of those things in it where if
Super
other
League
clubs,
2.0.
if other clubs start piling on, and if it does go underway, and if there's a 1 or 2 maybe successful runs of the Super League, and then, like you say, the money starts to talk, sponsors are there, even players look to the Super League and go, I want to play in that. So now you have to be part of it to get the best forwards in, the best midfielders.
There you go. You've just made the argument for the Glazers in 18 months' time. So as one iteration of it, Real Madrid go, or let's be honest, Barcelona, because I think Real Madrid made a statement as well. Barcelona come out and go, anyway, we just made 15 billion this year. We're almost out of debt.
Yeah.
Like,
getting there.
We've only had to pull 4 levers this year.
We're almost out of debt. We made that much money. And everyone's going, fuck me. They made a right load of cash. I can already see the statements from the club saying, reluctantly, against what we said we would do in the past, the only way for us to progress is to be part of this, or we will be left behind. Full steam ahead, Super League. I guarantee that's how it fucking goes down.
There was almost as well, from some clubs, a lukewarm protest. Like United went turbo. We went, you think you're playing Liverpool this weekend? Well, you're not, because we're not going to let that happen. So we did as much as we could.
Did some clubs have no protest at all?
You know,
who were the English clubs for? Was it City?
No, there was more than that.
There was 6 on there. There was City, United, obviously, Liverpool, Arsenal, Spurs
got lucky,
and Chelsea. Chelsea did similar to us.
Yeah.
Where they stopped. They had Petr Cech getting off the coach saying, "Come on, lads, let us play the game. Like it'll be all right." City did nothing because they were probably like, "What? Super League? What? We're invited. Well, you treating us like a big club? Yeah, we'll have a bit of that." I mean, no, we don't want it. Liverpool did nothing, but then did a statement afterwards with John Henry sat like he's an hostage victim going, we never wanted it anyway. All right, yeah.
Weren't you on the first meeting?
Yeah, okay.
Found a member.
Did you not pay, did you not pay attention to what you were signing up to? I think Arsenal might have had a bit of a process, but again, they weren't happy with Kroenke and whoever it was, the owners. So there was a little bit there was some process, but not everyone was like dead against it. It
storm
like,
the fucking castle like we did.
Like we were the ones that like led the way in that front. But some clubs were like, we're not really that keen. But I mean, if you're Spurs, are you that?
Yeah, you're that fussed. I mean, the thing that you think about these clever people, you've got to realise they not only have they probably planned for every circumstance that happened.
Yeah.
They probably already planned for, well, this is plan C. The fans have rejected it. Now we've got to play the long game. They see things in 10, 15, 20 years. And that's what makes them rich as fuck. The short-term downfall of it was, a setback. But they're thinking about...
And that's why I don't think the Glazers have gone. I think they was like... They don't like us anyway.
Yeah.
Who gives... How does it get worse for the Glazers? Doesn't, does it?
Doesn't.
Because, like you say, we've hated him, we've protested against him, we've done all sorts
of things. And they've been here 18 years.
Yeah, so they might be like, well, we can ride it out. We've ridden out everything before. It's just...
we'll make more money.
Yeah.
We'll make more money and we're just going to be as hated as we already are now.
Sound.
Where do I sign?
Exactly. One thing that I think that sort of baffled me, and maybe this was part of what you were saying, Joe, wasn't just the fact that we were going into this Super League, it was the way they announced it. Because it was so sort of amateur, wasn't it? There was no video, there was no promotion.
Considering the dollar that must have been involved, the website was pish.
Yeah.
The graphics was like straight out of some fucking package that you can get on the internet.
Yeah,
it was so fucking crap. Like, for the glitz and the glamour, like... Basically, see what Saudi have just done with all of these players and all of these signings. That's the level of dollar that's involved in this. Yeah. Yet you went on Fiverr for your announcement. Is that what you're telling me?
It did.
It was
if you'd have thrown money at it, like you get, ex-players will take a few quid. You get a load of ex-legends to go, this is why it's a good idea.
Here's what you do. You get everyone who's ever won the European Cup to denounce it as shit and come and fucking pay you. I've just seen Steven Gerrard saying that Cristiano Ronaldo is our GOAT, right? People will do out for a fucking for a what's it like so.
I'm sorry, right? But the career trajectory of Steven Gerrard has been one of the best things I've ever seen in my life. Going from like when he won the league at Rangers and people going, he could succeed Klopp him. And he went to Villa.
I still hope he does.
Yeah, I do. And then like was a car crash at Villa, and then has made it been even worse by the fact Emery's come in and basically the same players made him title challengers. Then he's gone to Saudi where he's playing in front of 600 people and doing training sessions that made Tony Adams look normal. And then he's sat there doing videos going, I'd say he's the greatest player has ever lived. The one that used to play for United. It's like, oh, mate, how much did they pay you?
So you're telling me that if with the money behind the Super League that you couldn't have got Seedorf and some mega legends of the game that are like, that are dripping in European cups. Like, there's so many people like Maldini and that. He's unemployed at the moment. There's a fucking new house. Come and tell us why the Super League's a good idea. We're Milan behind it anyway.
Did they do it on purpose then?
That's my thing.
Testing the waters, and don't spend too much money on it, because the second wave, first wave was a test, and we knew that we were going to get backlash, and we knew that UEFA might take us to court.
Let me throw in the false flag scenario.
I like that.
It was amateur.
Yeah.
There was no ex-players behind it.
100%.
All of the graphics were done on Fiverr.
Yeah.
Right? What if it was UEFA?
Stop it.
That did it. Look at the new Super League. Look at the new Champions League format. The new Champions League format is Super League with the old trophy.
Honestly, right? Because it's like, the Super League's so horrible, we've got to stick with the Champions League. And meanwhile, they're going, we're going to change the Champions League.
Right, so think about this, right? So the Champions League, since... When did they fuck? They've messed with a double group stage in like 2000, 2001. So since then, the Champions League, I don't think has changed.
Not really.
Single group, seeded groups, round of 16, quarter semi-final. Yeah, a bit of a qualification period for your Maltas, Andorras and stuff, right?
Yeah.
It hasn't been fucked with, and in that last 20-ish years, has grown to be the greatest expression of football on the planet. It's the best clubs going at the best clubs. You get loads of games in it. It's nearly perfect, I would say. It's not perfect because nothing's perfect, but it's about as good as an expression of the sport as it's possible to get.
I think that's fair.
Right? So you go, well, obviously we're greedy. So obviously going to fuck with it.
Yeah.
Obviously we want to make, this is working, but can we get more money out of it? Can we guarantee more games for some of these clubs? Everyone's going to kick off. Well, what do? Well, we set fire over here.
Yeah.
And then when we just have a little bit of like a burn of toast in our gaff, no one's bothered.
Yeah.
Because look at that dumpster fire over there.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not that ridiculous, is it, that suggestion? Because it kind of makes sense. Because, it was so amateur and it had so much money behind it. That didn't make any sense to me. Like you were saying, it's like a college project.
It was.
Like, how have you spent, like, apparently, was it Goldman Sachs or whoever putting like $5 billion behind it or something like that?
Yeah, and meanwhile...
JP Morgan.
Sorry, JP
This is
Morgan.
the designer's first job.
Yeah.
What's going on?
And we've not got any ex-players, not got any interviews, we've not got any promotion. United didn't even do a social media post. That's how big United were on it. They did something on the website. It was like, I'm not putting it on Twitter, we'll get hammered. So it was like, how does this make sense? And you're right, everyone suddenly, because a lot of the narrative became not just anti-Super League, but pro-Champions League.
Yeah.
And I'm guilty of it.
And in the middle of all that, Champions League are like, you do realise we're changing our rules to basically fucking mimic this. And everyone went, don't matter, we know what it is. What?
You don't have to qualify for the Champions League in certain circumstances now, no. So you can be crap and still get in if you're a big club. Yeah, that's exactly what the Super League were doing. And yet we've all stomached it, pretty much. There's been no protest against
false
the Champions
flag,
League.
Super League, UEFA, false flag.
I think you're onto something. 'Tis the season for festive football, and the best way to watch it is down at your local Green King Sports pub. Get your mates together this Christmas. Go down there. Every televised Manchester United game will be on there, and lots of other games as well. So go and check it out. Get your mates together. The best way to spend Christmas is watching football at a Green King Sport pub.
Every single fixture from TNT, Sky and Amazon is live at Green King Sport. That means wall-to-wall action on the huge HD screens. Get over to your local Green King and watch every winning goal, top bins and dodgy VAR decision in an atmosphere worth sharing.
Download the Green King Sports app and you'll receive 10% off drinks every single time there's sports on the telly.
What's the next? Is there going to be a Super League then, with that in mind? Is there going to be...
Or I feel like it is.
Could this open the door for something completely different from what we've seen in Super League? Let's say Saudi go... Oh, well, we could have a league in Europe.
I don't know if you've noticed, but they got a few quid. They were always going... And here's, again, as soon as all this started happening, I said, Saudi going to end up in the Champions League. And then all the mouth breathers went, you understand Saudi Arabia is not in Europe. And I go, yeah, I fully understand Saudi Arabia is not in Europe. But they're already talking about a wild card. I wonder where that is. There's only two places that could possibly go. Miami or Saudi. Right?
And that's when you start off with your one wild card before you get your two.
Yeah.
And then before you know it, Urawa fucking Reds are in the mix. Like, this is nailed on to be fucking happening.
It's crazy, isn't it?
So you go,
And also, that's not even a difficult sell, that, you know, because if you're saying to fans or whatever who are going to be against it, so you don't want to watch Messi
or Ronaldo,
exactly.
or Ronaldo play against your club,
and before you know it,
5 times
there's a wild card playoff.
Yeah.
And then before you know it, it's like the Copa Libertadores, the fucking MLS Cup versus fucking Saudi League for whatever reason versus the Cheshire League, and it's all. There's a playoff between all of those to get the Champions League qualifier, and then they get seeded in the group. Mate, it's coming down the fucking pipe.
Yeah.
Just to play devil's advocate, right? Is there any positive from that? Is there any positive from having, like, it's got to be just Europe? Is there any positive from going, okay?
I think there's merit in, it's a world game.
Yeah.
It's a European-centric world game.
Yeah.
All the money's located in Europe-ish. Because that's just changed. Yeah. In the last 12 months, that has literally just changed. What's going on in the MLS with Messi has changed it. You know, there's the leagues thing where you've got all the North American leagues playing each other with Mexico, Canada, and America. I wouldn't mind seeing United versus Palmeiras.
Okay.
Does that have to be a supplementary competition, or is it an expansion of the Champions League? I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah.
I would be all right with there being a world competition. Maybe when you get to knockout, maybe the groups are localised. But the most important thing, and call it the World Champions League. The most important thing for me is that what was the most egregious? It isn't about allowing other people into the competition, because that's the way people that are pro this always spin it. You just want to keep the status quo. Not necessarily, because I think people think football can't grow. It can. Because it's mental that you have all of South America has to go to Europe to be able to play. I would love it if, like, Boca Juniors was a legitimate fucking target for Haaland.
Yeah.
Like, if they was like, well, Boca Juniors have just come in for him, and people don't go, on what planet is that fucking happening? Like, I'd like that if that was real. I would like it if, like, the top European teams had their fucking best players cherry-picked. You know, some people will see their ass because it's America and it's new, but why not? Like, if it's real and authentic.
That would be, for me, the big one, is if it went massive in America. Because that's like the big sort of the elephant in the room, innit? You've got the biggest sort of commercial market there, and soccer, as they call it, is way down the pecking order, innit?
But why not, China, Japan, massive first world economies, why shouldn't they have the global game represented there? The same with Saudi. Like, why should we restrict players going to Saudi?
What's it like in India? Is it pretty much down the
again? Why not? Yeah. So there was a bit of a resurgence there. Like, Rennie went. Yeah. There was a few players that had gone over. I think Wes Brown fucking go over a bit.
Yeah, he did.
So I would genuinely love it if it was. We call it the global game, but it ain't. It's a European-centric global game. No, and the heritage that's in Brazil and Argentina, and some of those nations around there, Uruguay, Chile, why can't those Premier Division teams in those countries compete with, maybe not the Premier League, because there's always going to be a top dog in terms of cash, but why not in terms of, like, Holland and France and Germany or whatever? I'd love that.
Do you know who led the way in this?
But, sorry, the point that I was trying to get out, the one thing that has to remain is it has to be a meritocracy. Yeah. You can't be the first on the boat and then lock off the lifeboats.
No.
It has to be, you qualify, you play. That's it. You can't fucking you're a permanent
your coach whatever like because you've got
to do well.
Historically you've
won because Nottingham Forest would still be in the mix. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you would. It's true. You're right because
Red Star Belgrade, their banner that they had, world champions in 1991 before all the money came in. Why should that? Why is that? If you said I think Red Star Belgrade are going to win the Champions League this year, you'd be fucking laughed at. But why not? Why shouldn't they? Like, they did it in 1991. Why should they be fucking so out of the fucking mixer now? Like, I would love it if you raised the levels of every league and maybe some sort of a World Champions League, but it has to be done on fucking merit.
Did you ever see the Super Cup game? United versus Red Star.
Yeah,
the most one-sided win we've ever had in terms of we robbed them. It's shocking when it got the winner.
Yeah, was it only 1-0?
Yeah, it was 1-0. Was it Darko Panchev that won it? That played. It was just
black shorts at home.
Yeah, it was amazing. And at the end of it, it was just like, well, we've won that. That was it.
Just charity shield.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. None of this. What about you?
Well, I was briefly going to say
because Steve's gone the other way. He's gone like the Super League. Forget that. We want global league, which I kind of get.
Do you know what was funny? And just briefly on this, it probably makes no. It's a crazy.
Remember your audience.
Do you know one of my favourite nights of the year, Eurovision? They let Australia in for 1 year. And they've never left. Australia are still in Eurovision, so they let them in for 1 year on the 60th anniversary. They're still kicking them out.
Israel's in Eurovision. There's loads. It's like Eurovision. Do you know what? Eurovision is great for
It's got to compare the two sometimes. It's about talent, adventure,
bit of a sweepstake and all that. Eurovision parties.
I think it's
these two.
it's a slow process, isn't it, to become the world sort of stage. Away days would be interesting if you've got to get yourself to Argentina.
Imagine though.
I can imagine, but it costs you a fucking
amazing.
fortune.
Have you ever tried to get to Southampton?
Yeah, think about it. Right, we just got a game, love.
I'd rather be in Buenos Aires. Rather be in Buenos Aires than fucking Southampton.
Yeah, see you 2 weeks on Tuesday. What?
Or Stoke, I'll be honest.
But also is where you got to keep an eye on, like, I suppose, what
Stoke,
would make it so accessible and so big for the TV companies is obviously the games. But when would they kick off? When would they start? When would you? You got to capture the world audience at the right time. But then you might isolate United fans. All playing at 2 a.m.
River Plate versus Real Madrid is watched by whoever's up.
I'm with you, Steve, on the meritocracy thing. That is got to be. That's the one thing I'm against. I don't mind having different formats or whatever because the Champions League's flawed anyway.
Right, Jay, here we go.
But you've got to have a meritocracy.
So, we introduce an extra round. So you've got the round of 16.
Yeah.
Right.
So you're at round of 32 before the round of 16.
I might even make it around of 64.
Okay.
It's only 2 games.
After the group.
Or two rounds.
So you got the group, then around of 64.
So you have your group. You have your European group.
Yeah.
And there's an Asian group. And there's an African group. Mate, Dakar away.
Come on. You're telling me. Kaiser Chiefs away. Kaiser Chiefs away.
FC Casablanca away. Come on, bro. Off we go to Marrakesh.
I'll be skint by the end of the year.
Who plays in Mandalay? Who plays in Mandalay? And he go there just for the song, right? So you have a European group stage, and it's the same format. It's Champions League mirrored in Asia, in Oceania, in Africa, in South America, in North America. So they all have their fucking Champions League group, and then they put forward.
What the World Cup is?
No, because it's everyone every year. So it's all 16. Everyone. So how many? Like 16 teams each qualify from Europe, from wherever, whatever it is. Let's be honest, it'll be 32 from Europe.
I was about to say, we're not going to have the same amount from Australia.
Argue amongst yourselves for the fucking. Argue amongst yourselves for who gets
fucking trip, innit?
Who gets the what? But then it's straight knockout. 64 team World Champions League, United against Melbourne City, fucking Barcelona against Miami.
And you pull out Perth away as a United fan.
I'm looking forward to being down Warwick Road saying into these fucking Melbourne bastards. Come on. Anyone who don't get involved is getting served up when we get home.
I love it, but it's the future probably.
Yeah, I mean,
by that point, aeroplanes will be rapid anyway, won't they?
By that point,
about 18 months away, you mad bastard.
By that point, yeah, we'll all just be appearing in other countries.
Your round of 64, fucking global, round of 32, and then can you imagine the fucking quarters and semis? Yeah. Oh my god!
I'm looking forward.
And then you get to call yourself the world champion.
Yeah,
genuine.
Probably because what
none of this American bollocks
in the final. Now City have got the final coming up. What does that really mean? Nothing.
Well, for starters, anything that City doesn't mean
that's anything. The only way you expand the Champions League is we go global.
Global. I'm looking forward to the front page of the Mirror having all the people complaining about it like they did when we dropped out of the FA Cup.
Right, who is it now?
Right, because it was...
There's about 9 Love Island bellends in there, for starters.
Not all Love Island people are bellends, but yeah, I get your point. Yeah, they would be. Towie. Someone from Towie would be on there. Like
Tommy Robinson's been asked.
Tommy Robinson's been asked.
How
would he be described?
But he calls himself a journalist.
Jesus Christ, I'd be setting fire to them papers.
What have we got onto this one?
Right, because
I missed one little.
Do you not remember? Right, me and Steve love this. Right, when United
1999
drops out the FA Cup,
you go to Brazil.
On the yes.
And then you have the paper.
Tamara Beckwith.
Yeah.
Caprice. Simon Weston.
Did Tony Blair say something?
Yeah. David Mellor, people like that.
Mellor?
Who are these people? What are you?
So, Pretty Patel.
100%.
$1,000,000.
Yeah. Braverman, actually. Braverman be on there.
She's asking lines about visas. Yeah, Braverman's on there probably, I'm sure. Tommy Robinson gets asked.
Tommy Robinson.
Every fucking helmet with turkey teeth from fucking Love
Letizia.
Island. Matt Letizia is
Stinks
definitely...
of Letizia.
Letizia is getting asked.
Absolutely reeks of him.
We need a couple of it girls. Who's your it girls nowadays?
Yeah, you
Cat
need
Dealey.
someone. No, Cat Dealey. Was this 1995?
I watched the film the other day and
How
Cat
old are
Dealey was
you?
in it.
What?
100%
She's back
true
though,
story.
Cat. She's new. She'll be this morning. So
Right, all right.
Ant and Deck get asked.
Yeah, Alan. Yeah, they do it together.
can't
though.
agree.
Their photos and both of them. Yeah, we're outraged.
That's what it says. Outraged.
Yeah,
Outraged.
You need like some sort of war veteran.
What have the
hero.
cacks ever fucking done around these parts? The geezer that gave the speech
Farage.
in 2003.
Farage
Farage is
all over
already
it.
giving his opinion on it. It's
yeah.
not even happened.
is he a football fan, Farage?
Is he hack?
Does it get him an extra vote?
Yeah, exactly.
I've not played that game before.
Who's the kid that won?
X Factor.
I'm a celeb. Oh,
John
X Factor.
McElderry.
Tom Daly gets.
John
Tom
McElderry.
Daly gets.
Joe
that.
McElderry. When did he win X Factor? What year are you living in? You
Steve Brookstein, the first
Oh,
X Factor.
Game on.
Yes.
Yeah.
love it. He can take time out from giving
Chico.
concerts in Costa Coffee.
Yeah.
Chico. Yeah, Chico's on it.
Craig from Big Brother.
Craig, oh mate, you've nailed this. Absolutely.
There you go, there's your front page. And everyone's fuming and everyone's mad. And then someone absolutely
I've got another
mental.
one for
No.
Go on.
Professor Brian Cox goes, I think it's a great idea.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Yeah, I was going to say,
It can only get better.
who's that guy that won the lottery?
You just missed what I was just
Who's the
fucking
guy who
said
won the
then.
lottery?
Oh, Dareem, it can only get better. Very good, very good.
there we
Professor
go.
Brian Cox was in Dareem.
He was.
Mate, we have got
Crazy
full
that,
night
isn't
as
it?
you two. And so you Cat Dealey and his Dareem references.
Cat Daly's working.
She's back.
She was in a film.
Jeez,
Janine had a film in our house the other day, and Cat Daly was in the film, and I went, "Is that fucking Cat Daly?"
Mate,
And she went, "Yeah," and I was like,
that's
Fucking
crazy.
hell.
I know, yeah. That was, that used to be
"Where's
great,
she
that
been?"
SMC,
And then I
mate.
went, "Hang on, has she been on like Strictly or something like that? Is that has she been?"
Nah,
on
that's what's she called? Oh, she's from Stockport.
Tess Taylor.
Tess Daly.
Really?
Yeah.
But
She's
you
from
could see-
Stockport with an accent.
You could see Cat
thought she was bowling or
Daly
something.
on Strictly, couldn't she? She's in that wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Bolton's hardly miles away, isn't it?
Right,
Yeah.
Steve, back me up.
Listen,
hell.
Back me up.
it might be about
Half an
18
hour
miles.
drive. It is a
18
million.
mile and 25 years away.
Thank you. The accent between Bolton and Stockport is like night and day. Come on.
It's not that. I mean,
It is.
Nah,
Yeah,
people from
yeah.
Stockport sound Mancunian
Yeah.
sometimes, right?
Sometimes.
People
Bolton,
from
yeah, they
people
don't.
from Bolton.
Bolton, I always think, is Coronation
Hey.
Street accents.
Yeah.
Is it?
It's how people think we
I
sound.
feel like more Eccles way, Salford way.
Whoa,
Get out.
Get out.
What
You
do you
start.
mean? What
This-
Corrie?
Coronation Street accents are abomination.
They are. It's
They're an
like, hey, I go
abomination.
Becky Thump, put one in fold.
That
Like, what?
fucking our David.
our David.
Who the fuck talks like that? I haven't heard anyone go "yeah" on Coronation Street once. That's how you know that's a lot of old bollocks. Weatherfield, where the fuck is that? For starters, just call it somewhere real. Where is it?
I always
Collyhurst.
thought that.
Colliers. Imagine.
Do you know? Do you know when?
love that.
Do you know? I was doing some research. So when Man City United were playing in the FA Cup final, I got in touch with the scriptwriters at the Coronation Street. Said, "Who do all the characters support?" I'm doing a little. Like, I thought I'd do like a fun piece on it. They went, "They're all Weatherfield FC fans."
That's realistic, isn't it? Imagine having a soap set in Manchester
Give me that
where
email.
none of them support
Give me that
United or
email.
City.
I'll just be like, get a fucking grip. Own it.
Weatherfield
Just own
FC.
it. Own it.
What in the Coronation
Just
Street
say
universe?
it's the same representation of the rest of Manchester. So there's 4/5
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
and then
and
you
there's
can
a
have
random
just the
blue,
fucking,
but he don't go.
Norris is a City fan.
Norris, yeah.
Yeah,
Reg
there you
Oldsworth.
go, of course.
Reg Oldsworth
Red Bull,
supports
he was
City.
definitely.
yeah,
No, he's
yeah.
not a blue. He's like a berry or something. He's not. He reeks a berry. Yeah.
So in this Coronation Street universe, City United do not exist.
Well, no, they do exist, but Weatherfield FC's the
Yeah, but have
top.
you ever referenced them? You've never seen it going off in the boozer because.
Nah.
Yeah, no. They would,
Curly Watts glassing someone.
Rovers won't pay for the fucking TV.
How was Curly Watts not a fucking blue for starters? Because he's clearly a fucking blue.
He is.
Look at him, the tramp.
He's the blue. The tramp.
Kennedy. Kevin Kennedy's like.
What about Gale?
Him and Eddie Large.
Ain't Kevin
were the-
Webster
the
red?
two staple.
Ain't Kevin Webster red?
Webster's
Yeah,
a
Michael
red.
Lavelle, I think he is. Yeah. Who else is there? I don't even know who's in it anymore.
Gale, she's still kicking
Bet
about.
Gilroy, who she support?
Bet Gilroy. and I'm old.
Ina Sharples.
Really?
Ina Sharples.
She started the fucking thing.
Hey, Ina she. What about
Chesney.
Ken Barlow.
Ken Barlow?
Ken Barlow.
Yes, his name's somewhere he used to.
He's been over the way.
Something happened.
Yeah, we had to rethink that chant. I think
Well,
we've
you said we
covered.
had to retreat. Never mind.
Yeah. I think we've covered the Super League extensively there,
Yeah, it's
don't
good
you?
that, yeah.
I enjoyed that. I think we've covered all the bases, and bizarrely,
It's covered too much in a way.
we don't want the Super League, a European Super League. We want a global league that's a
No, but
meritocracy.
Let's have it right. The egregious thing about the Super League is locking every fucker away.
Yeah, I'm not into that.
I think you can. I don't want them to fuck with the Champions League.
Nope.
But someone's got a fucking spoon out and they're gonna, right?
Of course
they are. Someone's about to stir that shit up.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna stir it up, let's actually improve it. And I think you could improve it by making it world. No, I'd love to see fucking Santos at Old Trafford. Yeah. Can you imagine?
North Pole away.
I don't know if there's any teams up there, you know.
I love that's the problem with that idea.
Yeah.
There's no teams there. What are you on about?
But that's the beauty of football, is getting in the mix, because then it'll raise the standards.
Like you went, okay, in Brazil or wherever, we have this little tournament and the winner qualifies for the Champions League. That could make sense. I get what you mean.
Well, you just have the same Champions League format now, so you get you globalise your coefficients.
Yeah.
So you say, right, like we sort of said before, all right, Oceania, you're going to qualify for 2 round of 64 places.
Yeah.
MLS, maybe you get 3 or 2. Saudi, you end up with 1 because you'd loaded. And before you know it, you actually have a global fucking game. I know some people go, oh, well, you can't go to Miami away and all that. I understand it, but it's not going to be like every week you're going to be playing in the middle of nowhere. No, it's the knockouts, isn't it? Yeah, so there'll be 1 or 2 games where you go, like, you might make a trip. I reckon getting to Miami is both cheaper and easier than Astana. True. Yeah, mate, Astana was the back of beyond. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, big time. Look, we don't complain about having fucking Kazakhstan and Ukraine in the fucking Champions League. That's true. And it might actually be closer. Miami might be closer. Dave Pritt went to Astana, didn't he? Mad. Tell you what, you don't want a Canadian team. Do you know how big Canada is? Is it? It's pretty big, like. Is it bigger than Solid? Don't everyone live within like 100 miles of America? Is it as big as like Greater Manchester? Canada's Merseyside. Canada's fucking huge. Is it? You can't be doing Canada away. Like, you have to get 2 buses and that to get across it. Unbelievable. You've been? I couldn't name you a Canadian team. How about that? What about Vancouver? What, you can't. They've got to have a team, but you don't know what they're called. I don't know. The Vancouver. It's Whitecaps. Vancouver Whitecaps. Yeah, I was going to say there's a. There you go. What? Toronto Maple Leafs. Toronto Titans. What? Maple Leafs. Oh, right. Anyway. It sounded like something. We'll go together. Right, anyway, everyone's hungry, and we're starting. This is getting even worse. Because you said at the start. So we're going to wrap it up there. I'm hungry. Don't forget as well, we're going to be in Dublin on the 28th of December. Me, Steve, Joe. Not that Joe, the other Joe, Joe Smith, Adam McCullough, and Wes Brown's going to be there as well. There's still some tickets available. Click on the link and go and check that out. Don't forget as well, we've got the 12 Days of Paddock. If you join us as a member, you get a chance to win a load of prizes. Go and check that out as well. There's extra content on the members section. And a big thank you to Green King Sport for sponsoring this podcast. Joe, where can people find you? Go on the Sloppy Joe's podcast. But also, if you've got a mate who watches this in Dublin, that's a good Christmas present for them. Yeah. Take them out. Do you know what I mean? You get a first round in. Have a good time. Heard a Guinness. Don't know why I've gone. I don't know why. What was that accent you were doing? What was that accent you were doing? I was doing Cockney. I don't know why. All right, okay. I just like getting on. Sound like Roy Hodgson. Yeah, you know where to find him as well. That's been Stephen Howson. That's been Joe McGrath. I'm Jay Motty. This has been Off the Bar. Thanks for watching.